What is happening, people? Just going to go through today's market outlook and we can kind of have a look at what the case was yesterday as well. So I'll actually start with EU. So EU's done exactly what we wanted. Funnily enough, GU has as well. There was just no entries to catch the buy. So like I said, from this 4-hour point, this should hold, which we now have. We've actually induced in the range, like I said yesterday, like we will, and now we've pushed up. So we're coming for this high, which just makes total sense. And at the same time, GU actually major induced and is going to do the same thing. So I would say we're coming for this high now on GU and that high on EU. So working in that, we'll see what the go is. So on a lower time frame, like I said, there was no way to get in this last night. It messed around literally in here for a long time. If you were to take something like this, you would be looking at more or less this internal break, and that's kind of all you've got to play with. There was a limit that was valid once it broke through that high, but you don't get tagged in. So you would have something like that here or like that there. For New York session, you unfortunately, like I said, no tag, and that does run. So unfortunately, the timing is just a bit off coming into this week. It's been a very slow week. It's what happens when you're in a complex pullback. But like I said, we're more or less coming for this high now. So that's kind of what I'm working with, and that's what I'm after. This today is the high we'll take, which we have now taken. This is a medium inducement, so I'm expecting some type of reaction off of this. In terms of what we could have, we have come in, taken liquidity here, and created an internal break. All of this to me is just liquidity, so we'll come for that. So today, I'm actually more or less looking for sells, which is annoying because sells long term do not make sense in actually playing out. But we now have medium induced to the upside. Okay, given the structure cycle, this doesn't make sense to hold, and sells are actually the more risky approach now. But given the liquidity we've taken, I don't see a way to buy. The only way to buy is if price moves itself up, creates a break with an area of liquidity that we can look to come take and get something like that, or if price wants to do something like this and use that as a trap to buy through it. But I don't think that'll happen. I think we're more or less going to actually get that reaction to the downside off of this. So how I'm looking at this, we have got this supply to demand area that sits in here. I believe that I don't think this holds enough to actually push through this. So what I'm actually okay with doing is the moment we take this liquidity and come into this area, I'm actually okay to buy. Now there's two ways to look at this. This liquidity either is going to hold enough to push through this liquidity. So it's either going to hold enough to do that, or it's not going to hold enough and you'll get something like that. So they're kind of the two options I see today. I'm actually going to try and catch the sell now. If I can catch the sell now, that would be brilliant. We're still half an hour off of open, so I don't love this timing. I more or less think this will take its time to set up, possibly buy from here, or better yet, if we can actually buy off the low take. So what I'm looking for is sells. Once we take here, I'm open to buyers from here or buyers to here off of this low take here. So a bit of an interesting spot. The timing really isn't suiting us very well at the moment. Like I said on GU, we're coming for this high. I'm coming for this high. I think it'll come and take it. So I think targeting that is the go. Now, in terms of the 15-minute, we've got the exact same scenario that's played out on GU. We've just taken this high. This high actually holds weight, as this did break a low. So I'm expecting this to give a reaction. Given we don't have a lot to target, we have got this really small supply to demand that sits in here. I believe this will be taken. So GU I actually view completely different. I don't think this will hold on GU, which is a little bit annoying, to be completely honest. So I would say what we're either going to get on GU is that. If it comes any lower than that, I'm expecting that. Okay, they're the two options. If it comes into this point at all, I don't think it'll hold, given the liquidity we've taken actually holds weight. So sells at the moment are kind of the go, and I'll be looking for them early into the session, seeing if I can catch this sell, looking for either some type of track for action here to catch that, or up in this area here. Either or I'm open to. I do like buys long-term better. I just do. I'm just not seeing a lot to work with. This is a really good buy area through the take of this low. You complete the daily cycle, you bring in more sellers here, and it generates liquidity up to the upside. But GU is actually a lot more straightforward and simple than what EU is. So they're kind of the two options. And I'm going to try and catch more or less that move is what I'm interested in at the moment. I think the other ones will take a long time to set up, and we won't be able to take this one until this proves that this is a trap, so that'll be a big waiting game as well. So it's looking like a bit of a waiting game come today. If I jump on USDCAD, we'll have a quick look. No structure here. We haven't even broken 15-minute structure either, so nothing for me on USDCAD at the moment. Yeah, I'm not really seeing anything on CAD. So for me, I think just holding off on CAD's kind of the go at the moment. And gold, we're just pushing up to the upside, so I'm not interested in. EU and GU with the go today, with medium induced on both. Let's try and catch the sell and kind of go from there. Any questions, chuck them in the comments. If not, I'll see you guys all in the Telegram, and I'll update you on anything I'm looking at. Let's have a good session, and yeah, let's smash it.